Hi, everybody. I am back. I am so grateful for you all for holding space for me. It was a really challenging month. I mean, February just kind of sucks, not gonna lie. And every year, it was the 8th anniversary of Jack's passing. And every year it's just different. I never know what it's gonna be like. And some years are easier than others, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll have an easy ride this year, and apparently not. So my sweet Django, who is basically love in incarnate, he was one big ball of unconditional love, got really sick on Jack's anniversary, and then 4 days later, we chose to euthanize him, and it just went really quickly, which I'm grateful for. And it brings nothing but peace in my heart knowing that Jack and Django are together. With all the spiritual work I've done on a spiritual level, I'm like, I know Jack's good. He's good, he's in love, he's in oneness, but the mama part of me was always like, who's going to be there with him? And so it just makes my heart really happy to know that the two of them are over the Rainbow Bridge frolicking and playing. So it's been a minute, so I've got a bunch of relationship stuff that I wanted to fill you in on, and so I will probably do more than one live this week, and so today I wanted to talk with you. First of all, how are all you guys? Like, are you guys good? Like, what's been going on in here? So one is, what type of relationships do you attract? Okay. And so how you navigate being an empath and a deep feeler, and the types of relationships that you attract. So first and foremost, with anybody, whether it's an intimate relationship or a parent-child relationship or a friendship or whatever, how does that energy feel to you? Okay. And how do you relate to that energy? Okay. So how does the other person's energy feel to you? And then how do you energetically relate to that other person? Because energy is pliable. It's just fascinating to me. So according, excuse me, to Judith Orloff, who's a psychiatrist, and I hate using this term, but I'm going to use it lightly, is pretty much like the guru of being an empath. Even though I don't believe in gurus, and we are on our own gurus, she is like the, I don't know, master teacher. Let's put it that way. There are 3 types of relationships that empaths attract, okay? And we're not talking about the narcissistic, codependent ones that are they are prevalent. Because as empaths, we always see the heart of gold in everybody, and we're like, we could fix them. You can't fix anybody. Everybody's on their own journey, and it's just whether or not you're going to put yourself into a torturous situation with a narcissist or not. So the first one that she talks about is the intellect, okay? They are the deep thinkers, like we are the deep feelers, okay? And they generally keep calm during conflict. They are major analyzers, and they see the world through logic and rational thought, okay? Generally, they don't trust that gut instinct, and they're very serious. Okay, they're not very lighthearted. They're not very playful, but they are a good partner for the empath because it balances out their deep thinking, balances out the deep feeler. Okay, my husband happens to be an intellect, but he's really lighthearted and he's really funny. And he's really playful. And we balance each other out in that way. So when you're in a relationship with an analyzer or an intellect, ask for help. Okay. But when you ask for help, just do one problem at a time, because we're just like, blah, 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 this is what's happening. Right. And they are like, there are too many unfixable emotions. I have no idea what to do right now. So it gets really overwhelming. The other thing is to communicate regularly with them because they get into their head a lot. The second type of person is the empath. Okay, this is another one of us. This could be fantastic because they are kind and supportive and they're passionate and they are deep feelers and they totally get it and it's awesome, like heart to heart connection. However, being with somebody like yourself and myself could also drive you nuts, okay? It could be emotionally overwhelming, and it could just get exhausting having to like emotionally process everything all of the time. I'm always like, I can never date somebody or be married to somebody who's exactly like me. It would just, it would just drive me nuts, quite honestly. And so, you know, if you're in a relationship with another empath, it is also really important to like both stay really grounded and also have your own space so that you can energetically wind down, okay? And you also have to be aware of the other person's emotional triggers. So like it could be a really beautiful, deep relationship and it could also kind of drive you nuts. Hi, Teresa and Shelly joining. The third type of relationship that is a good one for the empath is the rock. This is like that strong silent type. They are kind of like that little lone wolf, if you will, and they are consistent and they are dependable and they are stable. And empaths love consistency. We love safety. We love stability because we are ruled by our emotions and our feelings, right? And we are picking up everybody's emotions and feelings as well. So somebody who's really kind of rock solid is very calming energy for us, okay? And so, but the challenge with the rocks are that they have a hard time sharing their feelings. I think anybody who's not an empath is going to have a hard time sharing feelings. We're just like, let's share, let's get deep. Let's do it. And when this happens, the empath could feel like they're emotionally shut out because the communication and the sharing of feelings is not there. However, again, the empath and the rock balance each other out. And so if the rock could learn how to express their feelings clearly, and the empath could learn how to ground the way that the rock does, it could be a really awesome relationship. So expressing gratitude and appreciation, and, you know, just having that rock or even the intellect say, I love you is a really big thing. So like, know that that's a huge thing for them. And like I said earlier, empaths and deep feelers are those sponges, right? And so we could fall into really potentially toxic relationships, okay? And again, going back to that narcissist, which is so commonly flung around these days, technically and clinically, actually, there's only about 5% of the population that falls into the narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis. Someone could have very narcissistic traits. And so I just want people, it's a little PSA, be aware when you're flinging that term around that it's a personality disorder, but somebody could have those traits of being a narcissist. So I have my little notes on my computer. And so the most important thing to consider, it doesn't even matter if they're rocks or empaths or intellects, is how does this person feel? How do you feel around this person? Okay. Is your energy drained? Do you feel tired, depleted, or resentful after hanging out with them? And if that answer is yes, how can you limit your time with that person? Okay, like maybe you work with them. Maybe they're in your household. Maybe they're a friend of yours, right? And so is it necessary to be in that relationship with that person? okay? Because that toxic energy is super draining, and there, there are energy vampires. Like, that is like legit for real, okay? So as deep feelers, it's super important for us to be around people who lift us up. And so whatever it is, tune in to how that person makes you feel energetically. And hi, Joanne. Love you too. I love my rock intellect, my intellectual rock. And so how does that person feel to you? And I'm not talking about the moods, but I'm talking about the energy. Like, what is that energy? Because everybody has moods, right? And so, tune into how that person makes you feel. Do they light you up, or do they lift you up, or do they drain you? Okay. And so, as always, empaths really need to develop clear boundaries and learn how to communicate authentically, so that we can have healthy, fulfilling relationships. And so I know Joanne already said that she is with a rock. If you're in a relationship, or even a parent-child relationship, right? What relationships work for you? And like I said, I am with an intellectual rock, and I'm an empath, so it's a really good balance. And that is all I have for you today. I have 20 minutes before my client comes in, and I have to eat some lunch. I will see you. I do want to come on here a couple more times to give you what I was supposed to give you this month. And also, the retreat, I have a retreat happening April 18th to the 21st, and I believe it's up in the like the pinned area up on top of the group. So if you're interested in it, I am hosting it. It is all inclusive with places to stay and breakfast, snacks, and lunch. Dinner is on your own in Leavenworth. It's super adorable. If you have not been there, it's amazing. And we're going to be doing some deep healing work and meditations and connection. And the last retreat was amazing. And I have a little monthly retreat connection group going. And so the connections that are built are really kind of awesome. So I would love to see you there. If you have any questions about it, you could just DM me, and I'm happy to talk with you about it. And hopefully I'll see you there. Mwah. Bye.